recently a movie got released where my favorite actor Pankaj Tripathi is playing the main role. So I thought let's record an episode on Atalji and his contribution. So we came across Golden Quadrilateral project, which was one major project he carried out. So Rahul sir, can you just give a brief about the Golden Quadrilateral project to start with?
Yes, actually, it is the Golden Quadrilateral project was very important. So let us look at what it was. Actually, looked at the first stage of that project. It was actually inspired by the interstate highway projects in United States in
Okay.
1930s to 1970s. America had a lot of highway building which connected all the states. Similarly, because India is like a quadrilateral, if you see the geography of India,
Yeah.
so it was designed that we will connect all corners of India. So from
Right.
north to south, and the first major step in this was the GQ, which is the Golden Quadrilateral, which is basically connecting the 4 metros. So Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, and Mumbai. So that was the main, that was the first step. But it was not just that. There was also north-south corridor and there was east-west corridor. And in addition, there was another, what you call, scheme called Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So all these three put together, like GQ, what we know is just the connecting the metros, but all these three put together were the entire project.
So the
GQ
connecting
was
of
part
the
of
metros
this.
will be done by the big highways, and then Gram Sadak
Yes,
Yojana will, kind of
will
reach the
exactly,
villages from there.
exactly. Now, it is very important to understand ki, when Vajpayee came, this is the 1999 to 2004 term. Okay, now this term is coming behind about 2 decades of no investments. So very limited investments were carried out. There was hardly any capital with the country in 1991. As you know, that India was in a big crisis.
Right.
And we had to take loan from IMF by putting our gold as a collateral. And we didn't even have that much bandwidth to create any public infrastructure development projects. So this Narasimha Rao government just brought India back from the brink. But still, we did not have the enough economic capacity. Now, as capacity was getting created, 91 to 96 was a very good period for Indian economy. But the politics of it was so bad that Narasimha Rao fell, and then there were so many governments. Ultimately, Devi Gowda became the prime minister. His government collapsed. Vajpayee became, his government collapsed. So it was all a mess, and everyone was doing what you call, freebie politics. So we will give you free TV, free thing, something or the other. We will give you free.
It happens even now, no? Free electricity.
It happens even now, but
win election.
Yeah, exactly. But that time we had no money. See, today we have some money. We are giving free, but we have some money. That time we are just like, imagine, 2 days ago you are going to go bankrupt, and now you're talking about freebies. So this was the scenario, and there was no public investment. I mean, there was public investment, but very limited. And we had got all these factories. India was starting to emerge as a automobile hub, but there was no way for these automobile parts to be exported because there was limited capacity in ports. So we had a Tamil Nadu cluster. We had Bangalore cluster, we had Pune cluster, but no capacity at the ports. So it was all bottlenecks and just very big problems. Secondly, India was also dependent on imports. Now, when you talk about imports, there are two, you have to look at 2 factors. One is you are paying in dollars for whatever thing that you are buying. Plus, when you call in trade terms, it is called CIF cost. CIF cost means the cost at your port. So whichever port they come to, let's say Mumbai port, Kandla port, Chennai port, at that port, what is the price of that, whatever product you want to buy? You want to buy Mercedes, what is the price of that CKD units, whatever you want to. But at that port, what is the price? And inside where it is actually sold, what is the price? So as it is, we can't afford anything. Okay. We are very, low on affordability. But even then, let's say you order a Gillette razor that was also built, imported.
Hmm.
By the time it lands on Mumbai port, it is, let's say, 20 rupees. By the time it is available in a shop in Jaipur, it is 55 rupees. So that kind of bottlenecks were there. Now, what is the reason for this bottleneck? One major reason was lack of roads.
Okay.
And this is the big focus because British, remember, they built out a huge railway infrastructure, mix of narrow gauge, broad gauge, meter gauge. People don't know there were so many gauges that, some coaches could not go from one track to other because these gauge differences were there. So goods cannot flow easily. And even if you take the goods come to a railway yard. From there, the last mile is also again a problem. So to overcome all this, and remember, behind this also, you don't have any money. So behind using all of this, how to create a infrastructure project which will ease all these costs. That was the thing. Now, the benefit of this was multifold because it will create investments in different states all over the country. You can imagine, that time government investments were a big driver of growth. So when government is investing in Rajasthan, the road building in Rajasthan, road building in Chhattisgarh, road building in coastal Andhra Pradesh, all this created a lot of jobs. So that was another advantage. But we don't have money. So when Atal Bihari Vajpayee started creating, vehicles, mechanisms for financing and all that, you had to have a big brand name. This is going to be a marquee project. And that's why this project was called Golden Quadrilateral project. Because see, when you connect two metros, the trade is always high. If you say, I'm going to connect Silchar with Kandla, nobody is going to say, Silchar, where is Silchar? Silchar is in Assam. Kandla is in Gujarat. So it makes sense, but people don't, it doesn't get, highlight. But when you say, I'm connecting Delhi with Bombay, it makes good sense. I'm connecting Calcutta and Chennai, it makes sense. And that's what they created. Marketability. And this is what the Golden Quadrilateral brought. And when it was conceived, there were lots of problems. It started in 2000. So Vajpayee government lost in 2004 elections. So 2004, only, I think, 10 or 15% of the GQ was built. Even though entire was because land acquisition, all these things. No, before this, there was not a project which was conceived at this scale. So a lot of things to be put in place. And then the project got built up to 2009. And then you had this huge impetus in terms of growth. And today, 40% of India's road traffic is carried on this GQ network. GQ North-South corridors and GQ.
I think even now it was going on. Like it was not completed even till a few years back, like 2019.
No, there is now, I'll tell you another story. So Vajpayee did the financing and all that. But then, UPA government came. So UPA government reduced the 6-lane highways to 4-lane in some places. Now, all these things, because cost escalation, some corruption, all these nonsense things started filtering in. And actual project that was delivered in 2009 was you can say 70% of what actually was imagined. So when today you talk about Nitin Gadkari's highways, those are completely built out.
Right.
Okay. In this GQ, it was not completely built out. It was halfway done, but it was working. So 4 lanes were operational. So they said it's operational because it was Congress government, right? They can't say it's not operational. So, once it is operational, now you need to increase the capacity.
Right.
Now, when you have highways, you have to fence it. So, in fact, if you see some of Nitin Gadkari's interviews on construction of highways, you will find these issues. You have to fence the highways. Otherwise, cows and everyone will come on the highway.
Right.
And then, your average speed will reduce. The idea is to create a mean speed, like mean ton kilometer distance traveled per day. You have to increase. So that's the idea. In terms of people also, it will help, but nobody is traveling Mumbai to Delhi on a road. Mostly it's goods. So you have to increase that speed. And this is the same now they are trying to do it with railways. We have to increase the average speed from 80 to 100, 100 to 120, 120 to 150. But that means you cannot have, animals on the railway tracks, animals on the roads. You will have a proper entry-exit process. Then in many
Even
of these
humans.
states, even humans, because there's a bullock cart, what will you do?
Okay.
And then, you have a smooth expressway. But the entry and exits are bottlenecks. Then what is the gain? Because again, there will be a jam. On smooth expressway, there will be a jam. So you have to have eliminate those points also. So all these things, they are the parts of development. That's why it is taken, those things have to be put in place now. So 2019, Gadkari was doing that. So there is always, scope for improvement. But if you look at the
and I think the
project,
4-lane highway was again converted, like upgraded to 6-lane, right?
Yeah. So because, see, another thing, you have 6-lane in certain things, okay? And then you convert it into 4 lanes. There is a way to do it. You can't just keep it 6-lane and then, suddenly there is a 2-lane highway or 4-lane highway. So because then it creates more traffic jams. This mindset is still, we are still struggling with it. Let's say, even in 2024, we are still struggling with cutting down lanes and adding new lanes and how it is to be done in a smooth manner. One thing, you have to remember is that these highway points, if you see, they just created the network, but how it is very costly. All these projects are very costly to build, but their benefits will accrue over the next 50, 80, 100 years. And you only have to keep maintaining it.
Right.
Now they're adding a lane, but once the lanes are all in, you just keep the surfacing properly, you keep the road quality in good shape, then you can have this benefit for over 100 years. The highways in the United States, which were built between 1930s to 1960s, they are not yet repaired. They are still giving advantage today in 2024. And now they need to be upgraded.
Almost 100
that is
years.
Almost 100 years. Now imagine that kind of infrastructure boost it has given to the US. So it will give it has given a similar boost to India. And then, there are lots of second order benefits, if you can call them.
Yeah. I guess United States didn't have potholes like us. Huh? That's right.
Now they do. Now they do. But that's the part with corruption, So even now, Gram Sadak Yojana is not fully completed. So see, another advantage of a national level project which connects every part of the country is that under the road, you have access to power lines, you have access to fiber optic cables, you have access to water management system, solar power if you want. This is a right of way. Okay. Now you can put any and all sorts of infrastructure through this. Now, if you remember in some of the stories that you will find that railway stations were the big parts, big centers for drinking water in many of these small towns. Do you know this?
No.
In small towns in rural area, good quality drinking water was brought in by railways and offered. So people used to come to the railway station to drink water. This is, I'm talking about 1950s, 60s, 70s. So it was that kind of problem. Now, railways are one set of advantages, but this is, you create from the parliament building in New Delhi to the state capital, whatever assembly building is there or, government office is there, to the village panchayat office, everything is connected with a road. Now along the road, you have power lines. Along the road, you have fiber optic. Along the road, you can put, this now becomes a access point, access path. You can put different services in that. That's why when Modi was talking about digital India and connecting, making all the village panchayats with fiber optic and broadband, it was much easier with this kind of infrastructure already in place.
Okay.
It wasn't, but he had to make it. But yeah.
So, thanks for that brief. When I think about roads, like any common one, we are just concerned about filling up the potholes so that we can travel smoothly. But when we talk about like these national highways and all, it is very important for economic growth, employment, etc. So let's dive into that, like how a road
Yeah.
plays a major, like important role. For example, as you said, it connected the four major cities, metro cities: Mumbai,
Yeah.
Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. So why these four cities were chosen mainly? I understand the geographical part of it, but apart from that, is there any other reason?
So one of the things, it's a very important question to understand the economics and economic benefits
Hmm.
coming from roads. So in one of the models in economics is called the gravity model of economic development. So if it's just like a gravity thing. So economic activity represents the gravity, the like the way the mass of the city. Okay, so Mumbai, Delhi have huge economic gravity. Now, if
Hmm.
you connect these two highly economic active
Economically
cities,
dense
to
areas, huh?
yes, then you get lot more development. Now,
Hmm.
because it's just like there is already a path. So that's the reason when you connect high economic activity zones with each other, you get more development. Okay, because
Okay.
services come up which feed into these cities or which supply to these cities. Like for example, I'll tell you.
Also,
For
Mumbai is a
example,
port also. Mumbai has
Mumbai
a
is a
port.
port also.
I guess
So,
Chennai
but
also, right?
Chennai is also port, Calcutta is also port, only Delhi is
Huh.
not a port because it's inside. But I'll tell you
Huh.
another thing. See, imagine Mumbai has got huge population, right?
Hmm.
So you need lots of goods for Mumbai's consumption. Now
Hmm.
you need bulk, you need like when the company makes, let's say, take any goods, like for example, t-shirts. Okay, Mumbai will
Okay.
need, let's say, 1 million t-shirts every year. Okay,
Right.
so the company will make it, will bring it in bulk.
Hmm.
Okay, and then somewhere this bulk will be distributed into smaller lots, and then it will be sent to all the different shops across the city. Now some will be very high price for people like Rahul Gandhi, and some will be like you and me, and the cheap, good quality but cheap that
Hmm.
way. But they will be sent to separate stores. So somewhere this bulk breaking has to happen. Now earlier, because the road connectivity was very limited, so bulk breaking would happen in Mumbai. Now Mumbai real estate, is very costly. Now because you have good road, the bulk breaking will happen outside Mumbai. Let's say in Vasai Virar on that
Hmm.
side, or after Navi Mumbai near Lonavala, that area.
Hmm.
Okay, today bulk breaking happens in that area between Lonavala and Navi Mumbai. The more faster the roads become, these kinds of services will go out of Mumbai. Now there is an employment center in Navi Mumbai for
So
these kinds of things. Bulk
breaking,
breaking.
by bulk breaking, you are saying the most of the goods which come, it gets segregated there, about like
It
that.
gets segregated. So you can imagine huge containers,
Hmm.
they come.
Hmm.
And in that container, there are many goods, right?
Hmm.
And these, like many t-shirts will be there. Many,
Hmm.
let's say 5,000 boxes will be there. But
Hmm.
5,000 cannot be consumed in one place. So they will
Hmm.
be moved into smaller trucks in
Right.
that place. So some will be getting only 10 boxes. Others will be
Yeah.
getting 50, 100 boxes.
Hmm.
And they will go in smaller trucks to different shops within the city.
Yeah, I think
So
in
this is
Mumbai it
just
is in Bhiwandi area because Amazon has a
in
big
Bhiwandi
facility
area.
there. Huh.
Exactly. There is another set in Navi Mumbai because it comes from JNPT also
Yeah,
and
that's a different route.
south. Yes. So between the port and the city, there will always be these kinds of new additions. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, these kinds of services get expanded. Now, if you want to go to a hospital or a big medical center, now Dhirubhai Ambani has set up this medical center in Navi Mumbai because now it is, specialty. Because
Hmm.
specialty people don't go every day to the hospital,
Right.
right? So, but they have a huge campus. You can have more facilities. So it is much
Hmm.
more outside the city. But
Hmm.
it is not that outside also because now the road connectivity is better.
Hmm.
Now, these kinds of developments start happening across. And then, slowly, hinterlands also get developed. So this
Right.
is the first gravity model. This is why they chose the big metros as the first option. And secondly, you have to look at it this way. Construction employs one of the most unskilled labor in the market. Okay. So you are getting jobs at the most unskilled level.
Right.
They are getting better economic prospects. They will now improve their situation. And that is what you want, right? To get money into the hands of the most unskilled people, then you can automatically, things will improve.
Yeah.
So this is called in economics, it's called a multiplier effect. So construction particularly has a very high multiplier because unskilled labor onwards in construction, in particularly if you go to bridge and construction design, structural engineering, they are one of the highest skilled people. So it spans from the lowest skill to highest skill. So everywhere it goes, and that creates more. So this is the direct benefit. When you spend $100
right
in construction,
from the top engineer, you also have a unskilled labor who is not even like educated properly. So everyone is working on that same project. Everyone is getting paid
and getting
for that
benefit. Yeah. And you need, see, again, you are also spending money in Jaipur. You're also spending money in Kerala.
Right.
So you are getting diversity of spending also. So the benefit is not concentrated in, only 5 people will get benefit. It is geographically also diverse. So this is the another end. This leads to second order benefits because this construction people then become a little richer, right? So they want to buy motorcycles because now they want to work a little more. They want to buy things for their kids. So that creates second order benefits. That's why in India, we are now a big motorcycle hub for the world. We are also exporting motorcycles to Africa. Now, because we are sizable population, we are also a hub for small cars. Now, as we grow richer, we will be a hub for big cars. Then we will be a hub for, I don't know, maybe American kind of trucks, SUVs or something.
Okay.
That we will see.
Also, when I was reading about this, I came to know that it also impacts the education sector because a small town, like people who are in small town or villages, they don't have access to proper, like good education and especially higher education. So when these areas are connected with tier 2 or tier 3 cities, they can travel more frequently and in less time, the students, and that's how they also, like, it also impacts the education system.
Exactly. This is called the tertiary effect. We discussed first order, second order. This is the
Primary,
third
secondary,
order.
and third.
Now third order, what happens is exactly this thing. Because now you can travel from Bhiwandi and Vasai Virar and all that to Mumbai. You will come here for education.
Right.
Okay. If that pathway was not available, you would not be able to do it. Okay. In Mumbai, there were local trains, so you could do it. But on the road, you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
within
why
a day
Ulhasnagar
traveling 100 kilometers to and fro.
Exactly.
It is difficult. Other areas where this infrastructure is not there. In Mumbai, we travel every day because of local trains.
Exactly. Try to go 100 kilometers from Pune and commute. It's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Pune is still a very good city where you can still, commute. Okay. The more further down you go, more it is difficult to commute 100 kilometers because there's only one bus. The roads are not there. It takes 3 hours because everywhere it stops.
Right.
So all these are third order effects. And then these students become like, if there are 100 students, then there will be a college soon in that area. And that is how it slowly develops. As the, what about tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities start developing, you get even more benefits because they themselves, that development itself has a second order and third order effects. So you get, it triggers, it's like a domino effect. Once development comes into, let's say, Kolhapur was developed, but when it moves away from Kolhapur into Gadchiroli and, other places, from Nagpur to Gadchiroli and all that, then you will get another set of development.
Yeah. Then more
So
like
highways,
tier 2, tier 3 cities will be developed.
so you will
Okay.
get these kinds of effects which cannot be replicated. It's like a boost,
Hmm.
to the economy without
Hmm.
actually spending anything up, except for this road networks.
Infrastructure. Yeah. Okay, so we came to know like how infrastructure development, especially building good, better roads and big roads like highways, 4 lane, 6 ways, and connecting it to major metro cities helps not only in employment, skilled workers like engineers and other like people who have developed that skill, but also unskilled workers like who can just move goods from here to there, etc. Even if they don't have proper skills, they can start like earn their living and even grow. Apart from that, what comes to my mind is building good roads connecting cities, and the gram sadak yojana which we were talking about, like it connects the major cities to villages, tier 2, tier 3 cities. So this builds a proper network, like kind of a spider web kind of a thing. So this network helps not only these skilled and high skill low skilled workers, but also helps artisans, artists, and farmers as well, because they can travel from like point A to point B in less time and more frequently to sell their products. Okay, so it also affects us because positively, because the oranges, the Nagpur ka santra which you wanted, which you are getting once a week, you can get it like twice or thrice a week, depending on your location, obviously. But that's the thing. So how, I was wondering how this affects inflation, like how good roads have an impact on inflation. Can you guide us? Like, can you help us understand that?
No, you've highlighted very important point that the access improves the servicing ability. So, for
Hmm.
example, farmers are able to take their, let's say, oranges from Nagpur and deliver them to Mumbai faster and more frequently. But that gives you another advantage. One is that you can imagine the oranges will have component of fertilizer, seeds, whatever, X pesticides, whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those will go to Nagpur at a cheaper cost. The oranges will come to Mumbai at a cheaper cost because it's faster.
Right.
Instead of 3 days stuck in the traffic, it will only take 1 day. Next point is there will be less oranges damaged in transit
Huh.
because the roads are better.
Right.
So this in 3 days in hot truck,
Hmm.
50 oranges may be damaged. Now only 2 oranges will be damaged.
Hmm.
Okay. Now in agriculture, still the ability to get benefit is lower because we don't yet have the cold chain network
Right.
across the highways.
Hmm.
So imagine if we had a cold chain network where Nasik grapes or Nagpur oranges are set up in a cold warehouse,
Hmm.
refrigerated warehouse,
Hmm.
where a refrigerated truck comes, takes the refrigerated cargo, goes to Mumbai, unloads the refrigerated cargo in a refrigerated warehouse,
Hmm.
and comes back all in 1 day. So when he is able to do that, you need less of refrigerated containers, less of everything, and you are able to manage in lower cost. And that anyways gets transferred to the people.
Right.
Now, earlier I told you about how imported goods landed at the port. The CI cost of any good
Hmm.
was X, whereas the actual landed cost at the gate, at our where we buy it, is 2X. That reduces substantially because all these expenses, 3 days you are operating a truck means you have to employ the driver for 3 days.
Hmm.
You have to burn the diesel, 3 days worth of diesel, whatever, how
Hmm.
much ever kilometers he's traveling
Hmm.
for 1 kg of that santra or grapes to reach Mumbai. Now you
Hmm.
are only paying 1 day salary of the truck driver.
Truck driver.
Only 1 day, the efficiency is
Diesel is
also better
burned.
because truck is diesel
Huh.
is less burned less because the roads are smoother, better. So all these things add up and they actually make it more cheaper.
Yeah.
But secondly, you imagine ki this artisan point that you brought out is very important, because see, artisan he's a poor person. He's
Hmm.
making something. He has to go back to his house. He can't stay in Mumbai.
Right.
Stay in Mumbai is more costly. So earlier he couldn't do that. Now he is able to take the goods, sell it, whatever he is able to come back in the evening. Now that his costs are lower, so he's able to sell more. A person from Mumbai can go to this artisan's place and set up a like if you see on the Mumbai Pune highway, there is a vada pav center. In old Mumbai Pune highway, there used to be this famous center where people used to have. And then when the expressway came, that fellow he bought a stall in the expressway pit stop. Still, he is making a lot of money. So this is how that vada pav center is now become famous.
Yeah, and vada pavs can be sold anywhere. There's a huge market.
So many of these things, they get more exposure because now more people are traveling, more easy to access. You remember when expressway started first, people used to just go on a drive around trip. Daily, Saturday, Sunday, one of the days, early morning you go towards Lonavala and then come back. Because it was easy. Otherwise, it would have been a nightmare just to drive around. Less traffic, faster movement means a lot of benefits.
Yeah. Also, you get to, like, especially people in metro cities, they get to explore other regions just due to good transport facility. Because I am in Mumbai, I can go to Lonavala within a day and come back. Okay, I can go into that areas which have more greenery. I can do treks and all, which we usually do. And like almost every weekend there are treks organized. So this is one also. This is not economically like benefit and all, but it helps you get that pleasure of having being into a scenic areas and all, explore those places as well.
Not just that, it does give economic benefit. Now this trekking agency, the agency which operates this trek,
right,
would not be viable. But now one person can actually organize and earn
and as like so many people from city go there, then those people, like, these are small like kind of villages in Lonavala or trekking points, mountain areas, etc. So those people also get employment, because we'll go there, we'll have some food, we'll want drinking water or things like that. So those are the ones who will provide us that.
Definitely, but interestingly, you will have other issues, other interesting outcomes also. Like in recent one of the videos I was watching, they just made this road in Ladakh. Okay, so before 2019, there was no such road. It used to take 3 days walk to one point, and from the point, there's a day walk to the other village. Okay, now because this road has come up, now there was a marriage between some people from this village and other village. And that would not have been possible because now they can meet, because of this. Easy to,
Yeah. Even the Bahu can go to the Sasural once a week or so.
Yeah. now this is, now you're creating more problem. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are other outcomes also.
Interesting. This Bahu angle was really interesting. So I think are we done? Do you have anything more?
Yes. No. That's why one of the interesting aspects of this is the multiplier effect, and we have to remember that this multiplier effect will last for decades into the future. That's the main learning from this, and that is why GQ was the first. It was one of the first national infrastructure projects, and we hope to have even more of such infrastructure projects and commensurate development that comes with it.
Okay, so that was about the Golden Quadrilateral project. Do let us know how you like. Did you like the episode or no? Or you want to cover what topics in this? Look at the chats. because it is about Lokatantra. So we would like to hear from you as well. That's it for now. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.